The humid Atlanta air was still heavy from the storm that had passed overnight, though the sky was now bright and clear. For Devin Marshall, a 29-year-old respiratory therapist at Memorial General, this Saturday was different from most. He wasn't headed in for another grueling double shift, nor was he staying home to help his younger sister Mia with her student loan paperwork. Today was for him. Today, after 6 long months of overtime, holiday coverage, and selling off his old gaming rig, he was finally going to reward himself with a brand new PlayStation 5. The console had been on his wish list since its release, but life had a way of making sure luxury items stayed out of reach. Rent, student loans, groceries, Mia's college books, it all added up fast. But this time, he'd planned ahead, tracked shipments religiously, and confirmed that the game hub across town had received a fresh delivery the night before. He woke up at 5 a.m., too excited to sleep, and got ready like it was a job interview. Dark jeans, a crisp navy button-up, and his nicest sneakers, because if you're spending nearly $800 on yourself, you show up like you earned it. As he stepped out the front door of his modest but tidy home on Ashford Lane, his neighbor from across the street called out. "Were you headed so early, sweetheart?" asked Barbara Kramer, a woman in her late 50s wearing a floral robe and curlers that looked like they hadn't been replaced since the 80s. Devin offered a polite smile. "Just running a few errands." "In such nice clothes?" she questioned, her tone half joking, half suspicious. "Just figured I'd dress for the day," Devin replied, easing into his car. He could still feel her gaze following him down the block as he pulled away. The store wasn't packed when he arrived, just a few other hopefuls like him. When it was his turn, a young associate with a turquoise pixie cut and a badge reading Rena confirmed what he already knew. "You're in luck, just got a shipment last night." "Disc or digital?" "Disc," he replied without hesitation. He added an extra controller and 3-game Spider-Man, Miles Morales, NBA 2K, and Demon's Souls. The total stung, but he'd budgeted down to the penny. Walking back to his car with the box under his arm, he felt like a kid on Christmas morning. But the warm glow of accomplishment didn't last long. When Devin pulled into his driveway, Barbara was already standing outside, her son Chashawn, overweight 31-year-old, still living at home by her side, blue slushy in hand and smudged across his beard. Devin had barely stepped out of his car when she called out. "Well, look who's back from his errands," she said, smirking. "Is that a PlayStation 5 you've got there?" Devin stiffened slightly. "Yes, ma'am. Picked it up this morning." Chase's eyes lit up. "That the disc version? Those are sold out everywhere." Devin gave a tight nod and began walking toward his front door, but Barbara stepped directly into his path. "Why don't you show Chase what you got? He's been wanting one forever." Devin forced a polite smile. "Just a console and a few games. Nothing fancy." "Come on," she insisted. "Let him hold it for a minute. His birthday's next week." "I'd really like to get inside," Devin said, hoping to end the interaction. Then came the words that chilled him. "Why don't you just give it a Chase?" His eyebrows shot up. "Excuse me? You can always get another. He's been wanting one for months, and you're a young man with a good job. Chase has had a rough time finding work." Devin stared at them both, baffled. "I worked 6 months of overtime for this." Barbara's expression hardened. "Selfish, don't you think, Chase?" "Yeah," Chase muttered. "Some people have all the luck." Devin stepped past them. "Have a good day." But Barbara wasn't done. "You know, Chase, I've noticed things missing from porches around here lately." Devin turned slowly. "Are you suggesting I stole this?" "Just saying it's mighty coincidental. You show up with a brand new PlayStation the same day our delivery went missing." "There are millions of these consoles in circulation," Devin said, his voice steady. "Well," Chase interjected, "ours was the disc version with a blue controller just like that one." "I have a receipt," Devin said. "Then show it to us. I don't have to prove anything to you. Now, please leave my porch." Chase stepped closer. "I think you took the one that was supposed to be delivered to us." Devin pulled out his phone. "Be my guest and call the police. I've got nothing to hide." Barbara narrowed her eyes. "We know Officer McBride. Goes to our church." "Great," Devin said. "I have nothing to hide." He pointed to his doorbell. Security cameras rolling. Full audio and video. Barbara flinched slightly, glancing at the doorbell. Mom, maybe we should, Chase began. No, she cut him off. We know what we saw. This is my final request. Leave. They turned and stormed off. As Barbara stepped off the porch, she muttered, there used to be good families in this neighborhood. Devin entered his home and leaned against the door, heart pounding. The joy of his purchase had evaporated. He set the box down and sat on the couch, bewildered. By Monday afternoon, it got worse. A patrol car was parked outside his house when he returned from work. Officer Daniels introduced himself. Your neighbors filed a complaint claiming you stole a PlayStation delivered to their home. Devin sighed. I have the receipt and credit card statement. Want to see them? He showed Daniels everything. The officer verified the serial number, checked the receipt, and nodded. Looks good to me. This won't go any further. As Daniels left, Devin noticed Barbara watching from behind her curtain. The officer waved and drove off. Devin exhaled, thinking it was over. But the next morning, he found a letter in his mailbox. Handwritten, Dear Mr. Marshall, while you may have fooled the officer, we know the truth. Chase has been devastated since his gift was stolen. We've spoken with other neighbors who've also noticed suspicious behavior. Return the PlayStation by Friday, or we will contact your employer and escalate this to the precinct captain. Sincerely, Barbara Kramer, Community Watch Captain. There was no official Community Watch. Devin immediately informed his supervisor, Dr. Langston, who assured him they would handle any complaints with scrutiny. Then Devin called his cousin Malik, a police sergeant. Document everything, Malik advised. If it escalates, you may need a restraining order. That Wednesday, a neighbor texted Devin a photo of a flyer being posted on every mailbox. Neighborhood alert. Derek Marshall of 312 Ashford is a thief. Contact Barbara Kramer to join a class action complaint. Devin's hands trembled. He called Malik again. That's defamation, Malik said. Time to call a lawyer. By Friday, Barbara and Chase were served a cease and desist letter by courier. Their response? A small claims lawsuit for $5,000 for the console and emotional distress. Devin retained attorney Claire Nguyen, who filed a countersuit for defamation. Court was set for Tuesday. Claire prepared a folder of evidence. The receipt, credit card statement, police report, photos of the flyers, Barbara's letter, and testimony from neighbors. The courtroom was small. Barbara looked smug. Chase looked confused. When the judge asked for their side, Barbara unleashed a torrent of lies, missing packages, mysterious garage dealings, and emotional trauma. Then Devin calmly stood, provided his documentation, and let the facts speak. When asked to provide their own receipt or confirmation, Barbara claimed she paid cash at Game World and that they don't give receipts. And did you file a report? The judge asked. With Officer McBride, she said. Devin stepped in. Officer Daniels responded. His report is included. The judge raised an eyebrow. Mrs. Kramer, are you lying to this court? Barbara shrank slightly. I might have mixed up the names. The judge frowned. I find in favor of Mr. Marshall. The plaintiff's claims are unfounded and unsupported. Claire rose. Your Honor, we request judgment on the counterclaim for defamation $15,000. The judge didn't hesitate. Judgment granted. Defendants will pay $8,000 in damages, cease all defamatory activity, and issue a public retraction. Barbara gasped. We can't afford that. Then perhaps you should have considered the consequences before harassing your neighbor. 3 days later, a for sale sign appeared in their yard. By the weekend, Barbara was knocking on doors, delivering retraction letters. Chase sulked behind her like a scolded child. 2 months later, the house was sold to a young couple with 2 children. Devin watched from his porch as Chase loaded a familiar PlayStation-shaped box into the trunk. New or not, the irony was delicious. That night, friends came over for a gaming session. Officer Daniels dropped by, as did Claire. Over laughter, snacks, and NBA 2K, Devin looked at the console under his TV. It wasn't just a PlayStation anymore. It was proof that sometimes standing your ground is the most powerful victory of all.